Welcome to today's live stream. I hope you are feeling well. Yes, we are back. Hello everybody, it's nice to see you here again today. It really is good to have your company today, and I hope you will stick around because there are lots of things to talk about. And I suppose also I should say, hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Are you feeling happy today? Is there a smile on your face at the moment? If there isn't, then maybe I will do my job and put one there, right there on your face. A big smile. I want to see one today. Thank you very much. My name is Mr. Duncan. They call me Duncan. Some people call me other things that I can't actually say here on YouTube, unfortunately. I'm an English addict, and I have a feeling that you might also be a fan of English as well. And here we are live right now. Some people don't believe that I'm live, but I am. I'm live right at this very moment, 6 minutes past 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Yes, we have made it all the way to the middle of another week, and it's nice to have your company today as well. I suppose I should mention the weather outside. It's not too bad. We've had some lovely sunshine, and I have to say I do feel rather hot here in the studio. I think this is the hottest that I've felt so far this year in the studio, but yeah, I have to say it's not too bad. I'm not going to complain, because you know what happens if you know English people or even British people very well. You will know that we do enjoy complaining about things, but we love complaining about the weather. So whatever the weather is doing, we always find a reason or something to complain about. Maybe it's too hot, maybe it's too cold, maybe it is too windy, maybe it is too wet. So there is always someone somewhere complaining about the weather. But we are having a rather nice time at the moment. No rain today, sunny, a little breezy, not too bad. Perfect walking weather. And that's what I've been doing during the past few days. I've been getting lots of exercise, and as you know, I am determined to wear my skinny jeans for our big rendezvous in Paris, which is happening early next month. June is already approaching. Are you excited about that? I really hope you are. Today we are talking about a certain thing, a certain emotion, something that may or may not make you a little bit annoyed, something that might make you feel outraged or angry, because that's what we're talking about today. Today we are talking all about anger. Do you ever find yourself feeling outraged by something you have seen or heard? When this happens, a person might say that they feel outraged by it. The emotion they feel is outrage. The thing they feel outraged by is outrageous. These days, people seem to become outraged by many things. Trivial moments of time are blown out of proportion by generating outrage among people. Did you hear the outrageous comment that politician made yesterday? It's an outrage. Mr. Duncan is talking about outrage, which I think is outrageous. The word outrage refers to the feeling of anger caused by something that appears offensive, rude, unfair, or upsetting. You feel outraged.
Dear Mr. Duncan, was it really necessary for you to start your lesson off by shouting loudly? As it made me fall off the toilet and hit my head on the wash basin. Yes, that's right. I watch you whilst sitting on the toilet. I find it helps to move things along a bit. Please don't do it again. Yours, annoyed and slightly injured, Mr. Lomax.
Is it my imagination? Is it my imagination, or are people becoming more angry these days about everything? That is today's subject. That is what we are talking about today. We are talking about getting angry, words and phrases connected to it. I don't know about you, but whenever I browse the internet, and you know what I'm going to say, sometimes when you look at things on the internet, one thing that you start looking at can lead you to looking at other things. We call it the rabbit hole. You go down the rabbit hole of the internet. But one thing I've noticed, especially on social media sites such as Twitter, a lot of people seem to be getting angry. And sometimes that anger appears very easily or commonly, maybe in public places, maybe in a supermarket, or maybe in a fast food restaurant. But I'm sure you know, and I'm sure you've seen very similar things whilst browsing the internet. And I have to say, I've seen almost too much of it, quite often not by choice. So it would appear that people do get more angry over things. They become more annoyed by things. But I wonder if it is true, or maybe if it is just because we live in a society where people are recording things, maybe filming things more openly. So all of those small events that normally would not be seen are recorded on mobile phones and then posted onto the internet. So maybe that's the reason why. Maybe people aren't getting more angry over everything. Maybe there are just more recorded instances of people becoming angry. I know that you are not feeling angry today because you are here, and it's nice to see you here on the live chat. Oh, I see that we have our champion in first place as usual. Well done, Vitas. You are first once again on the live chat. It is nice to see you here today. Also, we have Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice. Have you packed your suitcase yet? Are you preparing for your trip? Because you have a very big trip coming up, don't you? Because you're not just meeting me in Paris, you're also doing other things as well. So I hope you are all prepared for that. We also have, Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you here as well. One or two people are saying that they can't see the live stream today. I don't know why, but there have been some very strange incidents here on YouTube concerning, well, first of all, my output, my videos, and also my live stream. So sometimes there are slight technical problems on YouTube. this morning I had the same problem. I couldn't get my live stream to connect or even to open on YouTube. It kept saying there was an error, which is not a good thing when you think about it, when you've put a lot of work into preparing your live stream and then YouTube decides to have technical problems. So I hope you can hear and see me all right now. Valentin, hello to Valentin, nice to see you here as well. We are halfway through May already. I don't know why, but this month seems to have gone by very quickly. How do you feel? Do you think it's gone fast, or has it gone very slowly? Hello to Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Nice to see you here. Excuse my voice for a moment. I'm having a slight problem with my voice today because, of course, hay fever has arrived. It has, and that's what's happening, you see. So I need to drink my water. I'm sorry about that. I'm sure no one wants to see me drinking water, but I'm going to have it anyway. There isn't much we can do about it, really. That is better, I have to say. I need a bit of lubrication on my vocal cords. That feels so much better. Hello, Sarah. I will try again. Sarah, SM, is it your first time here? And if it is, welcome. And also, where are you? We are always interested to find out where you are watching in the world. Zudzika is having difficulty watching my live stream. I wonder. Is anyone actually watching at the moment? Because I have a really bad feeling that there is a problem with my live stream. I think there is a problem with some sort of connection problem, or maybe the internet here, or maybe YouTube. But I do feel as if somehow I'm not getting through to everyone. Mr. Duncan, I am very busy at the moment. I had to organise a trip much longer because I am very far and only for a few days, but I am very happy that everything began with your proposal. Well, I would imagine you are having to arrange 2 trips, not just one trip, but you're having to arrange 2 trips. So for those who aren't sure what I'm on about, I am talking about the big Paris rendezvous that we will be having at the beginning of June. So we will see what happens there. A lot of people joining in now. Thank you very much. It's very good to see you here today. We are talking about quite a few things today. We have anger. Do you ever get angry? Do you ever feel annoyed about things? I tell you one thing that annoys me and makes me angry sometimes is when YouTube doesn't work properly. You would think that a company like Google, with their billions and billions of dollars, would be able to get a live stream to work properly. Wouldn't you really? Yes, you would. So we are talking about anger. What makes you angry? As you can see, this couple here, they are not happy with each other. You might say that they have become angry. They are not very happy about their situation, especially at work. I think one of the hardest social interactions to actually deal with must be work colleagues, because you have no choice. It's a little bit like families, really. You have no choice as to who your relatives are. But the other thing is, you also have no choice who your work colleagues are. So maybe if you work in an office and you are surrounded by people, and maybe some of those people are not very nice, or maybe they are just annoying, maybe they make you angry every day, it can make the work environment much harder to deal with. I think so. So what about you? Do you ever get angry? There are many ways of expressing that feeling of rage. You can say that you are angry. You feel angry. It is one of those negative emotions that I suppose we all feel from time to time. I do, even me. And people do say, Mr. Duncan, we can't believe that you get angry. But I do sometimes, not often, I have to say. It's been a long time since I've really got angry about anything. You might also get annoyed, something that is making you feel angry, but very slowly. So if something is annoying you, maybe it is doing it very subtly. Maybe it is doing it on a very small way, or in a very small way. Minor anger, or something that is annoying you a little bit, can slowly build up over time. So you might feel that your anger is slowly building up. It is slowly growing. You are becoming annoyed. So we often see annoyance as something that is there, but it doesn't make you completely angry. It is happening slowly. Maybe your neighbour has a noisy dog. Maybe it keeps barking every morning, keeping you awake. It is an annoyance. You feel annoyed by it. You might also feel irritated as well. An irritated person is a person who is bothered by something that you hear or see. You feel irritated by it. People can be very irritating. They can really irritate you. They might also make you angry or cross. So this is another way of expressing anger. You feel anger. You feel cross. I always find that quite an interesting word to use as a synonym for anger, to be honest. You might also feel furious. A furious person is a person whose anger has already built up to a very high level. That person feels angry. They are furious about something. They are finding it so hard to contain their anger. They feel furious. You might be infuriated by something. So this is something that might be happening again and again, and slowly it is making you angry. You feel infuriated. Your anger is building up inside you. It is slowly building. You feel infuriated. Enraged. A person can feel enraged. Their anger is growing. The emotion of anger. They are beginning to become angry. They are enraged by something. Of course, we did hear the word outrage earlier. And the word outrage, again, is very similar to enraged. You feel angry about a certain thing, a certain topic, or maybe something a person has done. Incensed. Ooh, yes. A person can become incensed when they feel angry or they feel annoyed about something. They are incensed. Again, you might hear a person say something. You might hear a person express an opinion that you don't agree with. It will make you become incensed. I like that word. Here's another one. Riled. Riled. So this means that something, an external force or an external thing that is out of your control, is making you feel angry. Something will rile you. It is making your anger grow. maybe a person who is noisy, maybe a neighbour, maybe a friend who keeps calling you and complaining all the time about things. You might feel slightly riled by it because it is annoying. It is something that is making you feel angry. You become irate. So this is the result. You might say that this is the result of the feeling of anger. You become irate. As your anger grows, you become more irate. Here's another one. You are fuming. A person is fuming. A person is showing their anger. So their anger has reached a high level. They are now fuming. They have turned red. They look angry. Maybe they are sweating and shaking because they are so angry. They are fuming. They have reached the peak of their anger. Seething. If a person seethes, it means they are fuming, they are angry, seething. That person is very angry. They are seething with anger. You might describe a person as livid as well. That person is so angry. I was livid. My neighbours were having a party last night and they were playing loud music and I was livid. It made me angry. You become livid. Maybe if a person becomes so angry they turn red. Maybe their face will glow with a red colour as their blood pressure rises. We can say that person becomes incandescent. They are glowing with anger. They have become so angry that they can't hide their emotional state at all. Their blood pressure rises and they quite often become red. You can say that that person is incandescent. They are literally glowing with anger. You might be up in arms over something. If you are up in arms, it means you feel very angry about something. You feel enraged by something. Maybe in politics, maybe a politician has done or said something that makes you feel angry. Then you might be up in arms. You can be beside yourself with anger. That's better. You can be beside yourself with anger. You feel so angry, it's almost as if you feel as if you've left your body. You feel beside yourself with anger. Your anger has grown to a very high state. We can say that a person will blow their top. They become so angry. They blow their top. A person will blow their top. They become so angry. My boss came in and he started complaining to me, and I'm afraid I blew my top. I got so angry. I blew my top. I lost my temper. I became angry. You might feel outraged. Of course, we've already looked at this word this morning. Outraged. You might feel outraged. You might feel anger over a certain thing or a certain situation. The word outrage, of course, is the noun. It describes that feeling of being angered by something. You lose your temper. A person who loses their temper is a person who reaches the point where they can't control themselves anymore. You lose your temper. So the word temper is often used to mean control. You have control over something. You have a certain amount of control over a certain situation. You are able to stay calm. You control your temper. You are able to stay calm. However, the opposite is also possible. You might lose your temper. You become so outraged by something that you can't control yourself. You lose your temper. You have lost your temper if we are talking about something in the past tense. You might go mad at someone. To go mad can mean go crazy. Maybe you lose control over your mental state. But also you can go mad at someone when you are angry towards them. Maybe you shout at them. You scream at them. Maybe you go over to them. Maybe you want to physically assault them. Please don't do that, by the way. You might also lose your cool. If a person loses their cool, it means they are no longer calm. You lose your cool. You have become angry. You have lost your temper. Here's another one. You freak out. A person who freaks out is a person who has really lost their temper. They have become so angry. They freak out. Maybe you hear something that annoys you. Maybe your temper will rise and you become angry. You freak out over something. Maybe something you've heard. Maybe something a person has said. You become so angry you freak out. Here's an interesting one. This is often used in American English, but I think you will find it is used a lot in British English as well. You have a cow. You have a cow. You become angry. You lose control of yourself. You have a cow. You go into a rage. You become so angry. You go into a rage. You lose your temper. Temper is emotional control. So quite often we will use this word, as I mentioned a few moments ago. The word temper means emotional control. You have control of your emotions, and that includes your anger. Okay, I think we're back. We're back now. I am starting to lose my temper as well. Yeah. Maybe today we will get the chance to see me lose my temper. No, I won't lose my temper. I will stay completely calm. I will stay calm. I will try my best to keep my temper. I will stay relaxed. So these are now opposite words. So this is the opposite of angry. A person who is not angry, a person who is able to deal with all the situations, is relaxed. These days, it is hard to stay relaxed all the time. Some people say that it's very difficult to keep your cool and stay relaxed. Talking of which, we can also use the word cool. You keep your cool. You stay cool. You don't lose your temper. Or maybe a person who never loses their temper. They never become angry. We can say that person is cool. They have a cool character. A person who often agrees with other people, or maybe they don't like to make other people angry, you might say that person is passive. They don't lose their temper. They don't have any strong opinions about anything. We can say that person is passive. A person might be mild. They are very calm and controlled in many situations, even bad situations, even in situations where things go wrong. A person might be chilled. They are chilled. They are calm. They are very relaxed. I'm sure many people know someone like that, a person who is always chilled and relaxed. A person might be described as mellow. That person is laid back. The person is mellow. They are calm. They are relaxed. Here's an interesting word. Maybe you haven't heard this word before. Placid. A person who is placid. Again, we can use this word to describe someone who is always calm. They are always relaxed. They don't seem to become angry very easily. They are placid, calm, and relaxed. A person who is level-headed. A level-headed person often sees everything from both sides. So you might say that that person will try to see both points of view. They won't always lose their temper. They won't be angry at someone for what they say, because they appreciate that people have different opinions. So they very rarely lose their temper. They very rarely become angry. Hello, Archie. Hello, Archie. Nice to see you here today. Archie. And I think I can see on your little icon that looks like Doraemon. Hello to you. Christina is here. Hello, Christina. I didn't notice you here today. Thank you very much. Vitas says, rule number 1, women are always right. Rule number 2, if a woman is not right, rule number 1 applies. So don't forget, if you want to have a quiet life, and I'm talking to all the married men right now, a person who is even-tempered might also be described as having a level head. You are even-tempered. So you never become annoyed or angry at other people, and there are certain people who are like that. They very rarely lose their temper. We often describe them as even-tempered. A person might also be described as mild-mannered. I suppose when I think of that type of character, I would often think of Clark Kent, who sometimes turns into Superman. But normally he is mild-mannered. A person who is mild-mannered is fairly calm and likeable even. You might also be described as easygoing. An easygoing person is calm and laid back. They never lose their temper. Good-natured. Again, we can describe a person who is often calm, or maybe they never seem to lose their temper or become angry. We can describe them as good-natured. They are a person who is always happy and treats everyone equally. It doesn't happen very often though, especially these days. A person who is unflappable. You might describe someone as unflappable if they are always calm. They never seem to become angry. You can't make that person angry. Whatever you do, they stay calm. They stay reasonable. You might describe someone as being as cool as a cucumber. If you are as cool as a cucumber, that means you are calm. You always stay calm. You keep your hair on. You might tell a person who is losing their temper. So this is something you might say to another person if they are becoming angry. You might say, keep your hair on. Don't get angry. Calm down. Calm down. Keep your hair on. It's a great expression. We might also tell someone not to lose their shirt. Don't lose your shirt. Keep your shirt on. Don't lose your shirt. Keep your shirt on. Don't lose your temper. Stay calm. And we can also say that a person will see red. So a person who becomes angry, quite often we say that when a person is angry, they see red in front of them, because that's what happens. We often describe it as the red mist. The red mist is anger, because quite often you will lose control of your emotions. And some people say that when they become angry, they see a red mist. So if a person is seeing red, it means that they are becoming angry. They have they've become incredibly angry. So what about you? Is there someone in your life, someone you know, who makes you angry? What makes you angry? Is it unfairness? Maybe when you see a person treating another person unfairly. Or maybe when a person is saying something that you disagree with strongly. It might make you angry. Oh, hello, Claudia. I didn't see you here today, Claudia. Claudia is here. What's cooking, Claudia? What have you got in the pot? What are you cooking today, Claudia? Please let me know on the live chat. I will be here for a few more moments. I have a couple of things to show you before I go as well. Something Mr. Steve has been doing in the kitchen, and also I've been asked if I can show the cows. So yesterday afternoon, after returning from one of our walks, the cows came over to the garden fence. So we will be taking a look at those in a moment. Actually, Mr. Duncan, there are some things that make me upset, says Mosen. Hello, Mosen. Nice to see you here as well. Hello also to Njo Bao Kang, otherwise known as Bane, watching in, I think you are in Vietnam. I want to say Vietnam. Are you in Vietnam? Am I right? When I play Call of Duty in my team and they defeat me, that makes me angry. And I yell at people. I yell at people. I think playing computer games is a good thing. It's very good for your coordination. A lot of young people like to play computer games, and also older people as well. So it's not always young people who play computer games. But yes, you are right. I think one of the big problems with playing computer games is maybe the other person you are playing against might cheat, or maybe they keep winning, they keep beating you, and then you run out of lives. That can be quite annoying. Valentin, yes, I agree with you, Valentin. Poor internet connection can make you feel very angry, and this is something that happens a lot in my life. I do often have problems with the internet, especially living here where I do, because I live in the countryside. I live far away from most of the big towns and cities. So sometimes the internet does not work as well as it should. So you are right. Christina says, what makes me angry is when people are looking at their mobile phones when they are crossing the road. It happens a lot these days. Even if you just walk around in the town, you will see people staring at their phones. They are taking absolutely no notice of the world around them. They are concentrating on their phone. They are looking at their social media sites. It is true. Alessandro says, what makes me angry is political correctness. Now, a lot of people think that political correctness is a new thing. But did you know that political correctness has been around for maybe around 50 years? So political correctness has been around in the form that we know it as today for around 50 years. So in the 60s, people became politically correct. The things they thought were wrong, the things they thought that should not be done or said. And then in the 1970s, there was some political correctness. And then in the 1980s, you might say that that is when political correctness started. However, I suppose the big wave of political correctness came in the 1990s when a more left-leaning government came into power in this country. But of course, around the world now, people have become more politically correct. And some people say we've gone too far. Some people think that we've become too politically correct with lots of things. So thank you, Alessandro. Yes, I think a lot of people do become annoyed at that type of thing. But I suppose it depends. It depends what it is at the time. Claudia says, I always become frustrated and angry when I cannot do things well. I know that feeling very well, by the way, Claudia. Thank you very much for letting me know about that, because we all share that. I think when we feel as if we're not doing as well as we should, we often feel angry, not at other people, but at ourselves. So I think it is possible to feel angry at yourself. You can have anger towards yourself. It's true. So there are many situations where we will find people make us feel annoyed. But I suppose if there was one piece of advice I could give today, and sometimes I have to give it to myself as well, is to stay calm. Sometimes it is best not to sweat the small stuff. Don't lose your temper and don't become angry, because to be honest with you, it's not good for your body either. Apparently, whenever you get angry, if you become really angry over something, your heart will beat faster, your blood pressure will rise, and you are probably going to cause some sort of damage to your body, which will happen over many, many years. So I think it is always a good idea to stay calm and keep your cool. I think so. I think people are not more angry these days. If I have my own opinion, I don't think people are more angry these days. I just think that there are more ways for people to express their anger. So it would appear that people are more angry than in the past. But I happen to know from years ago that people were angry. Back then, they really were. Hello to Richard. Hello, Richard. Thank you for joining me today. Steve has been busy in the kitchen, by the way. He's been very busy. This morning he has produced a beautiful loaf of bread from his magic bread maker. Today it's not brown bread, but it's also not white bread. It is a bit of both. So Steve has been experimenting with his bread maker, and today this is what he produced. So this is not brown bread, although it does have some brown flour in the recipe. So as I'm standing here now in the studio, all I can actually smell is the bread that Mr. Steve cooked this morning. And I have to say, if I was honest with you, it's making me feel rather hungry, to be honest with you. Hello also to, who else is here? Oh, I see, Arki. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, by the way. I always feel disappointed at myself when I turn off the alarm and then I carry on sleeping. Well, that is interesting because we were talking about that last weekend. We did talk about how we wake up in the morning. And yes, it is annoying. One of the things that I often do, I often procrastinate. Now there's an interesting word. That might be the word of the day. If you procrastinate. I do hate it, and quite often I feel angry at myself when I do it. So if you procrastinate, it means you always put things off. Something you intend to do, but you never do it. Something you plan to do. Something that you feel that you would like to do, but you keep putting it off. You procrastinate. Or maybe you avoid doing it altogether. And I think that's one thing that I might do. If I had one fault, if there is one fault that I could point at myself and say that I have that particular fault, procrastination. I do sometimes do that. I put things off. For example, Christina says, I procrastinate about going to the gym. So maybe you intend to do it. You are going to do it, but unfortunately, you don't do it. You procrastinate. It is a very interesting word. We went for a lovely walk yesterday, by the way, and we met the new cows. In fact, they came over to the fence. Would you like to see them? So this is something I'm going to show you before we go. And there they are, the new cows. So these are all baby cows. They're not very old. I would say that these cows are maybe a year old, maybe 1.5 years old. But they are very small. You probably can't tell from the video, but they are quite small cows. They are little baby cows. And yesterday they came over to the fence. They were very inquisitive. They wanted to know what was going on, especially when Mr. Steve goes out in the garden cutting the grass. So as you can see, we have 8 small cows at the back of the house at the moment, and I know a lot of people like seeing the cows, so I couldn't resist yesterday showing a little bit of the they're so cute, and I think Mr. Steve might be trying to feed them. So they only arrived last week. They came last week, and I think they're still a little bit shy. If I was honest with you, I think they are still quite shy. And 1 or 2 of them are covered in mud. I don't know where they've been sleeping. So there they are, the new cows. They have arrived and they are slowly settling in. They are looking rather calm, in fact. Isn't that lovely, lovely cows? He's got a muddy bottom, that one. And that is it. I think that is it for today. Yes, they are young cows. They are calves. You are right, Vitas. They are calves. I will be back with you on Sunday. I hope you have a good rest of the week. I hope tomorrow will be nice, and I hope Friday will be good. I hope Saturday will be super, and also I hope you will be here as well to join me live with Mr. Steve on Sunday. Yes, I am back on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. We will be talking about some other subjects. Mr. Steve is trying to find a new interest. Maybe you can give him some suggestions on Sunday. So if you have a suggestion, something that Mr. Steve can become interested in, to have a change of direction in his interests, maybe on Sunday you can offer your advice or your suggestions. Thank you very much for joining me today. That was a very interesting live stream, even though I had some problems with the connection. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English, saying thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. We are here for 2 hours on Sunday. Don't miss it. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Stay happy. Keep that smile on your face. And of course, ta-ta for now.